Solve cosine 2x sine x minus pi over 4 equals to 0. Okay, first step, what do we do? Huh? I've got something multiplied by something. I hope you all can see. There are brackets over here. Something that something equals 0. What does that imply about each of the something? Sine 2x equals to 0 or sine x minus pi over 4 equals to 0. Right. Okay, so cosine 2x equals to 0. What does that tell me about the range? Please take note, x is from 0 to 2 pi. So our 2x must be from 0 all the way up to 4 pi. So let's tackle this one first. What are the values of 2x? Okay, so draw your graph. This is our graph. Do you want to draw the graph of y equals to cosine 2x, or you want to draw the graph of y equals to cosine theta? It's up to you. Cosine theta, okay. So let's draw the graph of y equals to cosine theta. And theta is going to range from here 0 to 2 pi lah. Okay, so in this case, our theta is our 2x. Theta is our 2x over here. When it is equal to 0, I've got this point over here and this point over here. This portion is known as this pi, so this is pi over 2. And this is 3 pi over 2. Right? So our 2x is equal to pi over 2 as well as 3 pi over 2. But is that all? I should still add some more, right? What angles should I add now? Add 2 pi. So the next one will be pi over 2 plus 2 pi. Then 3 pi over 2 plus 2 pi, how much would that be? 3 pi over 2 plus 2 pi. I think it still falls within the range. 3 pi over 2 plus 2 pi. Okay, so this is 7 pi over 2. So it is still less than 4 pi. Should I still continue to add 2 pi? Do I still need to add? No need already. So this is for this part. Then of course you can get your x value of pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, pi, this is 5 pi over 4, as well as 7 pi over 4. You see, by doing so, we end up with the x values all the way from 0 to within 2 pi, right? If we didn't write down the range of this 2x from 0 to 4 pi, we might have stopped over here. And then we'll lose the other two answers. So that's why I want you all to have the habit of writing down the range. So the next one, sine x minus pi over 4 is equal to 0. You all shouldn't be doing this, I should do it neatly. So I'm going to draw the graph of sine x, or sine theta. So this is the graph of y equals to sine theta, where in this case, theta is actually my x minus pi over 4. But like I said, it is troublesome to draw the graph of y equals to sine x minus pi over 4. So we just draw y equals sine theta, and we realize that it is equal to 0 when I have 0, pi, and 2 pi. So this tells me that x minus pi over 4 is equal to 0, pi, and 2 pi. Okay? Now take note, again we have the range over here. Since x is between 0 to 2 pi, our range of x minus pi over 4. Our range of x minus pi over 4 ranges from negative pi over 4 to 2 pi minus pi over 4. So here I currently have 3 values of x minus pi over 4. I need to consider adding 2 pi to this. 2 pi, 2 pi. If I add a 2 pi, do I fall within the range? No, I don't. So I need to consider I minus 2 pi. I minus, 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 do I fall within the range? No. So these are my 3 answers for x minus pi over 4. So from here, I get the value of x to be pi over 4, pi plus pi over 4, as well as 2 pi plus pi over 4. Here we've got pi over 4. Pi plus pi over 4 is 5 pi over 4. And then the last one will be over 4, 8, 9 pi over 4. So I have all these values of x. Then I need to combine them together, and I need to see whether they all make sense or not. So based on this, I rearrange. X is pi over 4 repeated. Okay lah, write it down one time. Pi over 4. Next one, 3 pi over 4, write it down. Next one, 5 pi over 4. And then we've got 7 pi over 4. Then the last one, 9 pi over 4. Is it within the range? No, they say that x is between 0 and 2 pi. So how did that happen? So this one we reject. So we only have these answers. Okay? First step, tangent square x is 1 over 3. But I still don't have it in that form. Square root, okay. So when we do the square root over here, are you introducing the square root? So what must you remember to put? Okay, so tangent x equals to plus minus square root 1 over 3. Do I need to reject any of them? Do I need to reject any of them? There is no reason to. I have literally two cases. The first case is tangent x is root 3, root 1/3, or tangent x is negative square root 1 over 3. So in the first case, we are dealing with quadrant number 1 and quadrant number 3. Q1 and Q3. Go and figure out the basic angle. Go and figure out what is this angle. For the tangent x is negative 1/3. Second and fourth quadrant. Find out what this is. Find out what this is based on the basic angle. Okay? So you get all the answers. Part C. Sine square x is 1 over 9 sine x. Is it on the form on the board? No, obviously not. I've got a sine square and I've got a sine with a coefficient of 1 over 9. So what should we do? Move? Minus. So sine square x minus 1 over 9 sine x equals to 0. Please don't go and divide by sine x over here, because if you do that, you'll be wrong. So we bring it over and we factorize now. Sine x minus 1 over 9 equals to 0. And you end up with two parts. So either sine x equals to 0, which is very easily done, or sine x minus 1 over 9 equals to 0. Meaning sine x is 1 over 9. Then you go and solve. Combine your answers. All the tedious computation, do it yourself. Part D. Sine 2x tangent 2x equals sine 2x. So, same thing, we are going to factorize because there's a common factor of sine 2x tangent 2x minus 1 equals to 0. First option, sine 2x equals to 0, or tangent 2x equals to 1. Solve. Yep. You mean the answer at the back? Because tangent inverse. Oh wait, what is? Okay, so Chen Chua is asking about this. We've got tangent x equals to square root 1 over 3. Okay, this is root 3 over 3. So what does this tell you about x? How much? 30 degrees. But the question is in radian. So x, the basic angle is pi over 6. We can get all the other answers in all the different quadrants. Okay, back to the textbook, question 11 now. Yeah? Question 11a. cosine x minus 3 sine x equals to 0. What is the relationship between cosine, sine, and tangent?
Cosine and sine, sine over cosine is tangent.
Okay, tangent theta is
Sine over cosine.
sine theta over cosine theta. So you need to know this one, huh? This relationship is very useful. So what do you suggest that we do over here? What do you suggest we do over here? Divide by? If you divide by sine, you get cosine over sine. If I divide by cosine, then I get 1 minus 3 sine x over cosine x equals to 0. Then sine over cosine is just tangent. So 1 minus 3 tangent x equals to 0. Tangent x equals to 1 over 3. Solve yourself. Next, part B. Secant x equals to 3 cosine x. I see secant, I see cosine. What must come to your mind about the secant x? Did somebody say converse or inverse or what? Inverse? No, not inverse. Reciprocal.
1 over. Wait, what's the difference between reciprocal and inverse?
Okay, look. Reciprocal of sine x is 1 over sine x. Okay? Inverse of sine is sine inverse. Okay? Next one. Power minus 1 of sine x is sine x power minus 1, which is the same as 1 over sine x. Okay? So take note, all this one over here refers to inverse. It doesn't mean power minus 1. Whereas for the first and the third one, I'm literally dealing with the power. Have we done inverse before? Besides using for trigo? Sine, cosine, tangent, inverse? Don't have, right?
Inverse
No. Okay, so we just leave it as this first. Now let's go back to our question on secant x equals to 3 cosine x. So this is the same as 1 over cosine x is 3 cosine x. Multiply both sides, we get 3 cosine square x equals to 1. Cosine square x is 1 over 3. To make it out of the form, I take square root. Cosine x is plus minus square root 1 over 3. So now you have your two cases again. Cosine x square root 1 over 3 or cosine x negative square root 1 over 3. And you can deal with both by yourself. So get the answer. Part C now. Sine x equals to tangent x. What can we do with our tangent x? Tangent x is sine over cosine. No, you go and watch the video. So this is equal to sine x over cosine x. Right, what can we do from here? Cosine x, sine x minus sine x over cosine x equals to 0. Factorize sine x, 1 minus 1 over cosine x equals to 0. So break it down into sine x equals to 0, or the second one will be 1 over cosine x equals to 1, meaning cosine x equals to 1. Solve them. 4 cosine x, 2 cotangent x. So just as we said, tangent theta is sine theta over cosine theta. We also have cotangent. Theta is cosine theta over sine theta. Okay, this one also must know. So I'm going to replace it over here. We have 2 cosine theta x. 2 cosine x over sine x for cosine x. And then we can cancel here lah. Then multiply 2 cosine x sine x equals cosine x. Okay, so Chen Zhou wants to minus here already. Sure. Minus cosine x equals to 0. Cosine x equals to 0 or sine x equals to half. See, it's all the same one.